Friends, good afternoon for all of you.
Good afternoon.
Yesterday I was with the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. I was addressing about 1,500 students of postgraduate, undergraduate, and PhDs. And the topic I selected what I will be remembered for. Now I gave a lecture. I'm not going into details. Then question time. Nearly 40 minutes was question time. One undergraduate got up. He's doing BSc there. He said, Mr. Kalam, I have a concern. The concern is, tell me, as a student, what I can do. The sliding of the rupee. Sliding of the rupee slide. Every day it's sliding. Tell me what I should do. I told him, my dear friend, definitely send a wish, your good wishes. But tomorrow, I am going to be with the bankers. That is today. Tomorrow I will meet the bankers. Let me post this question. Okay? Let me post this question. And I know the guy's name. He has given me his email. I am going to reply. So I was astonished to see in this meeting Dr. Y.V. Reddy. He was the governor of Reserve Bank of India. At that time, I was one of the directors of Central Board of RBI. With him, I was one of the directors. And also, I was the chairman and Northern Region Board of the banks. Participation in all the meetings during my tenure. So as soon as I met Dr. Y.V. Reddy sir, I asked him, this boy has asked me this question. Because I can't ask any person other than such a very powerful personality. Because in his time, I saw the GDP was 9% growth. Now it's 4.5. No, you know about it? GDP in his time, when he was the governor of RBI. 9% GDP growth. And we had about $300 billion reserve also we had. These are golden days. And I used to say in my independence address when I was the president, we are going through a golden period for India. Now friends, then I asked the poster question, the boy's question, Indian Saswan. He gave me an answer also. Okay. You want to know the answer?
Yes.
All of you?
Yes.
What Dr. V. Reddy told me, finally the rupee, strength of the rupee, is driven by inflation one side, the low in those days 5% inflation when he was a when he was the RBI governor. And so the directly as a function of the inflation. Inflation again is directly is a function of productivity. Productivity we were discussing just now. Governed by what? Productivity is governed by what? Can you guess? Eh? Yes, yes. Eh? How much we work. Fantastic, yes. That means what is called creative leadership. And every field of India, if it have a creative leadership, productivity, agriculture, for example, agriculture we are producing 250 million tons of food. It's very good. In IT industry, almost $100 billion business we are doing. So it looks to me the leadership, quality of the leadership from politics, technology, banking, every field finally governs the productivity. Productivity is governed by inflation, but inflation is governed by rupee, strength of the rupee. Am I right, sir? Or you want to add something? You can add. You can add. No? Friends, indeed I am delighted to deliver the IDRBT Foundation Day Lecture 2013 at the Institute. My greetings to the Institute. I'm sorry for the delay of an hour because of the lecture. A lot of questions they'll start asking. My greetings to the Institute for Development Research in Banking Technology, the faculty, researchers, students, special invitees, and distinguished guests. I'm happy to know that the Institute has produced 150 MTech postgraduates in collaboration with the Central University of Hyderabad and a few research scholars who earned their PhD through this institute. The interaction between the research group creates synergy required for a meaningful research and purposeful development of products and services for advancement of banking technology in the country. In the technology service domain, IDRBT, among other service, operates the Indian Financial Network, Infinet, which is a backbone for the payment system of the country. I understand millions of people using, and is also the certifying authority for issuing the digital certificates for the Indian banks and financial sector. Keeping this in mind, I would like to talk to you on the topic banking technology and societies. The next 20 minutes, I am going to talk to you banking technology and the societies. It's okay? Subject okay? Now, dear friends, I visualize the following demanding scenes in the emerging India before 2020 for bringing a sustainable rural development. Certainly, technologies provide an innovative solution to meet the global challenges. When the banking institution adapt the technologies, certainly that will help in meeting the challenges of the growth, even the rural area. Let me visualize the following three scenarios which the banking sector can meet with the help of technologies. First is in reaching the unreached. Reaching banking services to 250,000 panchayats and villages, which cover 600,000 villages where 700 million people are living. This involves creating the electronic connectivity with the security in transaction and necessary authentication mechanism, and above all, the more it is important, it has to be user friendly for the village citizen to access in their local languages. 2011 and 12 budget proposed to provide rural broadband connectivity to all 250,000 panchayats in the country in 3 years. Broadband technologies and banking technologies coupled with the ICT implementation has to provide the secure and easy banking services as to utilize to the rural citizen at lesser interest rates. Rural banking should become the partners in the rural innovation ecosystem. When banks become partners to the small-scale industrial entrepreneurs, SME entrepreneurs, and self-help group entrepreneurs, certainly the economic growth will be on higher trajectory and will meet the global demand for the local products with technology infusion. Now, the second point is rural banking and secure e-governance. Rural banking and secure e-governance. I visualize a situation by 2020, India will be transformed into a knowledge society. That means the whole banking sector will be operated by knowledge e-governance products having G2B, B2B, B2C. B2C means bank to citizens, bank to bank, and government to bank. Over the cloud computing infrastructure and distributed by knowledge-based secure network system, thereby making the entire transaction secured, raising the confidence of the clients with the necessary audit trails to give easy tracking and monitoring to check the money laundering, trafficking, tax avoidance, and bring responsibility and accountability in corporate governance. Now, the next one, banking, and this is an important point I want to convey to you, banking and cyber warfare in knowledge society. Third one, I visualize once the nation becomes the knowledge based society, the complete future warfare from what is today will get transformed into knowledge warfare through cyber warfare. On multiple fronts, India is facing challenges of war and its dynamics due to its economic growth we had once and the vision to become a developed nation by 2020. Regular electronic intelligence collection and manual intelligence gathering has to be strengthened. Most important aspect should be to strengthen our cyber warfare technologies with capacity to penetrate any kind of network which operates the adversary's strategic command. India should achieve mastery over encryption and decryption of certain unique languages which are not accustomed and used in the cyber warfare technologies and its algorithm for detecting the threat. At the same time, evolve a scheme to respond quickly and able to jam the network with our intelligent software agents. We also need to establish intelligent gathering network by observing the behavior of the mobile system, wireless system used and to be able to build the possible war scenarios and its dynamic through pattern which will help the strategic command ready to face the challenge at any time. When we encourage mobile banking, mobile commerce and internet banking and internet commerce, the technology has emerged to track the behavioral pattern of the mobile usage and money transaction to analyze the fraudulent activities across the country and borders. With this ambience, let us see how India transformed by 2020 so that friends from the banking sector can play how you can become a partner in the Developed India Vision 2020. Now let me discuss the distinctive profile of India in 2020. Another 7 years more, still 7 years, a lot of time. I visualize the following distinct profile for India by the year 2020 will have to emerge. A nation where the rural and urban divide has reduced a thin line. As I said, 600,000 villages are there, 700 million people live in the rural area. So a divide between rural and urban has to reduce to a thin line. One of the system banking. A nation where there is equitable distribution and adequate access to energy and quality water. A nation where agriculture, industry, service sector work together in symphony. A nation where education and value system is not denied to any meritorious candidate because of societal or economic discrimination. A nation which is the best destination for the most talented scholars, scientists and investors. A nation where the best of healthcare is available to all. A nation where the governance is responsive, transparent and corruption free. A nation where poverty has been totally eradicated, illiteracy removed and crimes against women and children are absent. None in the society feels alienated. A nation that is prosperous, healthy, secure, peaceful, happy and continues with a sustainable growth path. A nation that is one of the best places to live in and is proud of its leadership. Now, to achieve such a beautiful thing, to achieve the distinct pride of India, what I explained, we have the mission of transforming India into an economically developed nation. We identified 5 areas where India has a core competence for integrated action: agriculture and food processing, reliable and quality electric power, surface transport, infrastructure for all parts of the country, education and healthcare, information communication technology, self-reliance critical technologies. These 5 areas are closely interrelated, and progress in a coordinated way will lead to food, economic, and national security. The major mission is the development of infrastructure for bring the rural prosperity or through provision of urban amenities in the rural area, that's called Pura, through creation of three connectivities, namely physical, electronic, knowledge, leading to economic connectivity. The number of Pura for the whole country is estimated to be 7,000. Particularly when the banking is planning to reach the unreached, Pura is another vehicle which can bring sustainable rural development. Now friends, I am going to talk to you about Pura because that is a area a lot of banks come in a big way, technological connectivity. Friend, this year India has turned 67 years old as the largest democracy in the world, and we witness a defining period for the nation and its people. We stand less than 10 years away from the goal of achieving the vision for developed India 2020. And there has been a significant progress in some direction and also problem in most of the areas. Each step we take towards the developed nation also open a fresh challenge to overcome. The need of the hour is the evolution of a sustainable system which act as enablers and bring inclusive growth and integrated development to the nation. One such sustainable development system is the mission of provision of urban amenities rural area Pura. Pura means that villages must be connected within themselves with the main towns and metros through by good roads wherever needed by railway lines. They must have other infrastructure like schools, colleges, hospitals, and the amenities for the local population and the visitors. This is called physical connectivity. In the emerging knowledge era, the native village has to be preserved and enhance the latest tools of technology, training, and research. The villages have to have access to good education from best teachers wherever they are, must have the benefit of good medical treatment, and must have the latest information in their pursuits like agriculture, fishery, horticulture, and food processing. That means they have to have electronic connectivity. Once the physical and electronic connectivity is enabled, the knowledge connectivity is enabled. That can facilitate the ability to increase the productivity, the utilization of spare time, awareness of health welfare, ensuring a market for product, increasing the quality conscious, interact with partners, getting the best equipment, increase the transparency, and so in general is called knowledge connectivity. Once three connectivities, that is physical, electronic, and knowledge connectivity are ensured, they facilitate the earning capacity, leading to economic connectivity. When you provide urban amenities in the rural area, we can lead to the upliftment of the rural area, we can attract investors, and we can introduce effectively useful systems like rural PPOs and small-scale industries and Pura. The number of Pura for the whole country is estimated to be about 7,000 covering 600,000 villages where, as I said, 700 million people live. There are a number of operational Pura in our country initiated by many educational, healthcare institutions, industry and other institutions. Government of India is already moving ahead with the implementation of Pura on the national scale across several districts of India. Now friends, now technology without borders. In the last century, most nations understood that science and technology were the best vehicle for economic upliftment. However, the problem that the S&T was used to solve have been primarily local and customized to their needs. Today, the problem faced by the nation are no longer a concern of them alone. Humanity is developing more and more attention to climate change, energy, water, diseases, economic turbulence, and terrorism, which are all concerns for the entire world, and the solution for which are beyond any individual nation or group nation. If S&T has to provide upliftment of our humanity, if the research and development are in areas of porous borders between them, and if the problems of the world know not geographical borders, the education that becomes foundation of all our science and technology, research, and development also must necessity become borderless. While I was traveling in aircraft in the United States, I was told that much of its control were software driven, most probably developed in India. When I presented my credit card, I was told that it was being processed in the back-end server located in Mauritius. And when I walked into the IBM Software Development Center in Bangalore, I was fascinated to find that truly presented a multicultural environment. A software developer from China, working under a project leader from Korea, working with a software engineer from India, and a hardware architect from the US, and the communication expert from Germany, were all working together to solve the banking problem in Australia. That's how globalized world. When I see all of them working together like one family, forgetting about the culture from which they came or the language they speak, I feel that only one hope for such borderless interaction to continue is inculcate the spirit of borderlessness in all our industry, education, research. Now, friends, new millennium financial system. I would like to share with you my visualization of the financial system of the new millennium. We have seen success of inclusive banking in the form of self-help group against the earlier credit cum subsidy programs of government, which could not finally achieve the desired outcome. Other strategic initiatives such as Rural Infrastructure Development Fund in NABARD, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and their focus with an inclusive banking and financing. Realize that desired inclusive social development as an outcome of the economic growth of the nation, people have to be skill enabled, knowledge enabled, and it's essential to elevate them with competitiveness by creating a level playing by creating an inclusive development ecosystem. When such a scenario emerges, I am visualizing what the role of banking technology. Banking technology can empower banking services with mobile telephone, a personal digital assistant PDA, and the capacity to mobilize the rural savings and rural insurance. This combined promotion of saving and life insurance will bring social security at the doorstep of the villages. This will be the vital for enhancing the GDP of the nation to double of the current level in the next 5 years. Now, banking technology and the present economic crisis. Since the IDRBT is dealing with the technology for banking sector, I would suggest a research group be formed to study the economic crisis. What was started in USA, followed in Europe, continued in Europe, and spread throughout the world. The effect of sliding economy is now more visible in India. Is there any technological solution? Can you forecast this kind of crisis and suggest methods for avoidance? Forecasting is your job, I thought. How do we recover from the present economic crisis of 9% GDP growth falling to almost half? Can banking technology give a solution with the India's of a good environment based of agriculture and small scale industry other sector? In agriculture sector, farmers produce 250 million tons of food, food grains. For economic recovery, one of the important strategies we have to follow is value addition to our agriculture produce that will generate export potential and internal economic growth. Similarly, for our rural economic prosperity, based on the core competence, we should start establishing 7,000 crores for the whole country. Of course, another important aspect is small-scale industries, millions of small-scale industries, and millions of SSI are spread through the country, and including rural area. By providing latest technologies and proper credit facility and policy, small-scale industry will be another pusher for economic recovery. As banking technology experts, you may have some new ideas. And this is the time nation needs immediate positive solution. I am sure IDRBT will be instrumental. Now friends, in conclusion, I have seen three dreams which have taken shape as a vision, mission, and realization. One is space mission of ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Another Agni program, defense of DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. And Pura, providing urban amenities to rural area, becoming the national mission. Of course, these three programs I worked, and, and many of them succeed in the midst of many challenges and problems. I have worked in all these three areas. I would like to convey to all the young people that what I have learned from leadership from these three programs. Leadership, the example is technology and management. How to develop when you are always denied technology, most of the time. In better the world environment, how do you build missiles, how do you build rockets, how do you build spacecrafts. So what did I learn out of these three programs? Leader must have a vision. Leader must have vision means, 1950s. India, wheat ships have to come from America. But there are two people. One is C. Subramaniam, Food Minister, and Dr. Swaminathan, Agriculture Scientist. These both of them joined. How long we can go on importing the wheat, and also if wheat ship doesn't come, famine in India. So they introduced the green revolution, and we got 250 million tons of food. How the vision changes. Similarly, in the milk age, leader must have a passion to transform the vision into action, and they must really commit themselves, all their knowledge, all their time, all their funding with a passion to transform. Leader must be able to travel in the unexplored path. Leader never travels in somebody's path. He or she generates new paths. Leader must know how to manage success and failure. You can easily manage the success. I have seen my own experience. When the failure occurs, all the challenges are need. You have to develop a leadership quality, how I can meet the failure. Leader must have courage to take decisions. Hundreds of decisions you have to take in a program. But if you go wrong, we should not be afraid. Leaders should have nobility in management. But in banking industry, leaders should have the nobility in management. Every action of the leader should be transparent. And the leader must work with integrity and succeed with integrity. For all success in this mission, including banking area, it is essential to have creative leaders. Creative leadership means exercising vision to change the traditional role from the commander to coach, manager to mentor, from director to delegator, from one who demands respect to one who facilitates self-respect. For a vibrant, inclusive finance sector, the important thrust will be on the generation number of creative leaders who will pioneer the promotion of financial inclusion both in rural and urban areas of the countries with imaginative use of technology and innovation. With these words, I once again wish IDRBT success in their mission of developing innovative and foolproof technology methods for the benefit of banks, customers, and citizens. May God bless you all, friends. Now, I can take some questions here. Anyone can ask. Yes. Who will ask? You don't ask, I will ask. Ah, yes. Acha, you follow. What class you are studying? Eh? Good?
7th class.
7th class. Where?
Little Flower School, Uppal.
What's your dream? You will become engineer, doctor, banker?
Sir, I want to become a scientist like you. Since my childhood, I am emulating you.
Okay. What's the question?
Sir, can you suggest few ways using which scientific thinking can be fostered in children?
First, you are thinking, you must have 4 methods, okay? 4 methods.
Yes, sir.
One is, at this age, 10 plus 1, you have to take a subject, is it not? 10 plus 1, you have to take a subject. What subject you are going to take?
Science.
Okay, good for you. Now, at that time, You have to have a great aim. Everybody takes science, many of them take thousands that take. What a great aim, what I should become, what I should be remembered for. And so we must have number one, great aim.
Yeah.
Number two, continuously you have to acquire the knowledge. Acquiring the knowledge through great books, acquiring the knowledge through great human beings, acquiring knowledge through teachers. Third one, hard work. Fourth one, perseverance. Perseverance. You are not afraid of the problem. You become the captain of the problem. Defeat the problem. What are the four? Number one,
We have to dream.
great deed, not small deed. Great.
Yes, great
Number
dream.
two,
We have to acquire knowledge.
very good, acquisition of knowledge. Number three,
Uh,
hard work. Number four,
Perseverance.
fantastic fellow you are. Okay.
Sir, I have.
Enough, only one question.
Thank you, sir.
If you don't ask, I'm going to ask this fellow to repeat question. Okay. Well, yes. Wait, 1 minute. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, as research enhances competitiveness of country and derives innovation, what are the measures to be taken to motivate Indian youth towards R&D?
See, my feeling is the R&D you can see in certain areas. Take agriculture. How did we increase the productivity because of high yield seeding and also because of using very technology post harvest, very pre-harvest technology. Of course, we have a long way to go in the area of storing, grain storing, and also value addition of the agriculture produce. Farmer produce agriculture produce, but it should be value addition. Then only economic will come in big way. This cycle you have to understand. Very important to cycle. For our young people, we see 30 young fellows in the age of 30, 35. They started in 80s the IT technology. Okay, IT technology. Today it's about 90 to 100 billion dollar business we have. It will go to another 10 years, $200 billion. So finally it is the research, technology, production. The whole cycle just goes. It cannot stop at research. So when you do some research area, and you must think of also how to transform the area into technology and how to technology transform to product and then marketing. Okay? Yes.
Jai Hind, sir.
Yes.
First of all, I want a grand salute to you for dedicating
What is
your
the question?
Question. Sir, my question is, what India needs most, good teachers or good politicians?
You know, India of with a billion people, just now I told you, we need creative leadership, every field, whether it's agriculture or technology or service sector or industry or banking or politics. Of course, politics is very important because they are the fellow political people. They generate for vision for the nation. Okay, they have been elected 700 people, both the houses about 700 people. Very important, but you have a very important tool to elect them. No, what is the tool? But that tool you have to use properly. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Political leaders should give vision for the nation. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Kumar Pandey. I'm pursuing a MTech from University of Hyderabad in collaboration with IDRBT, sir. Sir, please share one special lessons that you learned as a student, as a scientist, and as the President of India.
Well, it's a good question. You asked a good question. Now, when in 1979, I I was given a mission 1973 to build a rocket, put a satellite in the orbit, okay? Professor Satish Dhawan, you were the chairman at that time. I was made a project director. So I went with nearly thousands of people, scientists, technology staff, all worked together. 1979, we launched it from Sriharikota. No, first SME-3 put a Rohini satellite in the orbit. It was an utter failure. Okay, 1979, instead of putting the satellite in the orbit, went to Bay of Bengal. Okay, so it was a failure. At that time, the chairman of the organization, there was a press conference because it's a very important program of the nation. There's a national press, international press, the electronic media, print media, all these people, all these people were there. So I was the project director. But Chairman Isro on that day, he said, I am going to handle the press media. Kalam, you come with me. I went with him. He said, we have failed today, but definitely next year we will succeed because I'm going to give our scientists, technologies, our leaders, with all the support, technology support, managerial support. We will succeed. Next year, when we succeeded, that is 1980, the rocket was launched, put a satellite in the orbit, and it's a good news for India. Everybody was very happy. On that day, there was a press conference. And Professor Satish Dhawan said, you go and conduct the press conference. You follow. When the failure occurs, the leader takes the failure. When the success comes, the leader gives the success to his team members. That's what I learned. Anybody else?
Sir?
Where are you? Yeah. Where are you?
Sir?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, when we consider the present situation, in our education system, values and standards are gradually decreasing, sir. But automatically fees are increasing, sir. And education is becoming like a business, sir. So this is not a good situation, sir. So any suggestion for that, sir?
Well, I believe education, there are three channels. One is primary education, secondary education, and higher education. I don't have much comment with the secondary education and higher education. But definitely primary education needs a lot of reform. Because up to age 15, children have minds should be creative. Creativity should come. That is classroom, primary school classroom should be creative. Teachers should be creative. And the syllabus should be creative. That reform we have to do. Okay? That reform very, very important. That's the period that both father and mother and the primary school can contribute how to have a righteous life. Okay? Children should be taught what is righteousness. Okay? Righteousness. Yes?
Sir, you always say you should have a big dream. When you are young, do you really have a dream like I should become president or any other big dream that you have?
No, I didn't have vision to become the president. But when my teacher was teaching, I know I have to fly. Okay? I have to fly. Something to do with the Air Force, I want to become a pilot. Okay? Even though I could not succeed there, become pilot there. But definitely, aircraft system, missile system, I became the designer, developer, producer. Okay? So this, even though I could not fly as a profession, but when I became the president, I became a supreme commander of the all the things. As supreme commander, I expressed my wish to Air Chief of Air Staff in those days. I want to fly. Okay? Then he gave me intensive training for a few weeks. I flew Su-30 aircraft. Okay, friends. Wish you all the best.
Sir,
For the lady, yes.
Sir, can I ask one
That
question?
the lady is good because no lady has asked a question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Your autobiography says Wings of Fire. If wings are the dream and the fire is the passion, what if the wings cannot bear the intensity of the passion? The wings will disappear. Will
See.
the passion remain?
The fire is a consciousness, okay? Consciousness. Every one of us has got a consciousness and subconsciousness. So a dream, or I should become such and such, that is built in the form of a consciousness. That is fire. I will call it fire. Whereas the wings, it is an effort. Wings you have to fly in. That's an effort. It's hard work. Okay, hard work and the thoughts both are combined. Result is you will succeed. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, friends.
Sir, one more, sir. Sir?
Where are you?
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Sir, first of all, good afternoon. And thank you for being with us, sir. It's a dream come true for me. And my heart's really pounding really hard. I don't know why, but sir, I just, when I saw you first, I just remembered one proverb that I read like a few years back. And it said, as one lamp lights another, nor grows less, so nobleness enkindles nobleness. So that's what I felt when I saw you the first time. And coming to the question, sir, why did you turn down to be the president for the second time? Because we really need people like you to guide us.
Okay. Because I like teaching in life. I always, before becoming the president, I was a teacher. I was a professor. And then I became president. And after I went back, after 5 years, I went back again for teaching. Teaching and research my love. Okay?
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, friends. Wish you all. Yes. Which one? Well, I up to 2010 our GDP was 9% GDP growth. At that time, pharma industry, and then small scale industry, agriculture, automobile industry, all advanced. Okay, all was advanced. Now, again we have to take back from 4.5% to minimum 8%. If we maintain for 7 years, definitely it's possible in year 2020. Okay. Now I have some books for Sambamurthy, Director, IDRBT, for your library, sir.